Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit today about knife defense. A lot of fancy martial arts moves like wrist locks and such don't work very well for knife defense because you'll end up slipping and cutting your fingers off. For example, let's see that knife, Craig. Okay, if I try and wrist lock Craig, if he's bigger and stronger than me, when he withdraws his arm, he's going to cut my fingers. Okay, in the heat of battle, you're going to be adrenalized, so your palms are going to be sweaty, and you're going to have very little fine motor skill. So if we try and do something like this, we're really likely to get cut up. So we're going to avoid that altogether. Fortunately, when somebody attacks you with a knife, most of the time they're going to hold it at your throat or they're going to hold it at your body in some form or another to intimidate you. Because if they wanted you dead, they would have snuck up behind you and slit your throat. Instead, they're going to present us with this weapon and threaten us into cooperation. Doesn't mean they're not going to kill us later. So this is definitely a lethal force situation where I'm going to have to use whatever skills I've got to defend myself. So the first thing that I'm going to do when somebody presents a weapon to me is I'm going to put my hands up. I'm not going to put my hands way up high in the air. I'm going to put my hands close to the weapon so I can engage it when I need to. Okay? So I'm going to be talking to him, trying to calm him down, relax, man. If he wants my wallet or whatever, I'm going to give him my wallet. But when I take out that wallet, I'm going to drop it on the ground. Okay? So if he wants it, he has to reach for it, and I can go the other direction. So if he reaches for that wallet, I'm going to run. Okay? But if I feel like I have no choice and this guy's really going to cut me, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to move my body out of the way of the potential cut. Okay? I'm not going to try and grab on his hand. I'm going to attack lower here on his forearm, because if he withdraws his arm, I'm still going to be able to catch limb instead of catch blade. So I'm going to deflect this away from myself. At the same time, I'm going to stick my fingers in his eyes. Okay? So while he's holding that knife at my throat, hey man, be cool. Boom. Okay? Now from here, my other hand is going to come right back down, and I'm going to secure this weapon arm with two hands, because two arms are better than one. So when I lock onto him, I'm going to drop my body weight, and I'm going to make him cut and stab himself with his own knife. Okay? I don't want to try and peel that out of his grasp, because that's where I'm going to get cut up really bad. So hey man, relax, be cool, and the face, a couple of cuts there. Now, you'll notice this is not something I'm doing with my arms. I'm not stabbing him with my arms. I'm dropping my body weight and forcing my body weight in to make him cut. Notice the lack of motion in my arm. My arm isn't reaching towards him as much as my body is doing this. I can direct that blade a little bit with my arms. Okay? If he tries to grab it with his other hand, I can make him cut his own hand. But I'm not trying to peel this out of his hand, and I'm not trying to get upper body muscular with him. Okay? So, now, if Craig has a hostage hold, if he sneaks up behind me and holds a knife at my throat, okay, the first thing I'm going to do again is I'm going to put my hands up here, I'm going to grab his hand, I'm going to tuck his chin. Now I'm not trying to pull his arm away from my neck, because I'm going to slip and he's going to bring it right back and cut me. Okay, so this is a natural scared response. Hey man, don't kill me. Okay, so my hands are going to come right back to his arm, and I'm going to pin his arm to my chest. Now while I'm doing that, I'm going to push my butt back into him while I'm shrugging my shoulder over here to sneak my way out the back. Okay? I'm going to keep that chin tucked, so if I get cut, okay, it's just a little cut on my face, and it's not a slice across my carotid artery or my trachea. Okay? I want to live to get through this. So I'm going to tuck that chin, I'm going to shrug, push my butt back into him, and now I'm going to make him stab himself. Okay? Even if he still kind of got me in here, I can still make him stab himself with his own knife. Drop it down, cut him in the groin, stab him in the rib cage. Okay? So, while he's here, hey, relax, man, calm down. Tuck that chin. Already, if I get cut now, I'm taking it on the face. Okay? Shrug that shoulder, back out, and make him stab himself. Again, my body is pushing into him. I'm not doing this with him. Okay? I'm pushing my body into him instead. Now, if he's doing, active slashing and stabbing at me, which most people, when they get into a knife altercation, they often comment that they never saw the knife. Somebody who's really determined to kill you, when they decide, they just pull that knife out and start stabbing. So, if that's put away, okay, I'm always going to be watching hands, because hands are going to reach and they're going to go for the weapon. So while I'm talking to this guy, I'm not going to be staring at him in the eyes, giving him hard looks or whatever. I'm going to soften my gaze, I'm going to look at his chest and his hand area. Hey man, relax, calm down, don't want to have a problem. And if he reaches back there, if his hand goes to a pocket or goes to the back or something like that, I can assume that a weapon is coming, and I'm not going to wait for him to pull it out and present. I'm going to check that arm right away and stick my finger in his eye. maybe knee him in the groin or something. But then again, both hands are going to go to his arm. So in case a weapon comes out, I can go back to stabbing him with his weapon instead of reacting to it and going, oh no, and then getting shanked. Okay? So, if he's live action moving around too, I was too slow to see it coming, I maybe moved out of the way or whatever and didn't take that first cut, I'm going to go right back to our first defense. I'm going to check at his arm, I'm going to stick my finger in his eyes, and then I'm going to grab a hold of his arm with both hands. So while he's holding it there, hey man, relax, be cool, it is tough, hey, look! Okay? That's what I'm looking for.